Picture this. You're grinding away at work, feeling like no matter how much you do, nothing gets better. Orders pile up, stress skyrockets, and your life outside work starts to crack. Now imagine a book so powerful that MrBeast, the YouTube legend, insists everyone he works with reads it. A book that could flip your career, streamline your business, and give you clarity in chaos. Welcome to The Goal, a process of ongoing improvement by Eliyahu M. Goldratt. This isn't just a book summary, it's a game changer packed with insights to help you tackle any system, from a factory to your daily grind. By the end, you'll be itching to share this with everyone you know. Why does this book matter? Since hitting shelves in 1984, The Goal has sold over 7 million copies and landed on Time magazine's list of the 25 most influential business books. It's not a boring textbook. It's a story that makes complex ideas click, teaching you how to fix what's holding you back. It's about a factory manager fighting to save his plant from collapse, but the lessons apply anywhere: your job, your startup, even your to-do list. Let's dive into the core ideas, practical tools, and mind-blowing insights that make this book a must-know, explained so clearly anyone can get it. First, let's nail down the big question. What's the point of any business? You might think it's making great products or being super efficient. Wrong. The book cuts through the noise. The goal is to make money. Not just profit, but boosting profit, return on investment, and cash flow all at once. If you're chasing other stuff like cutting costs or maxing out every machine, you're probably screwing yourself over. Ever slashed expenses only to realize it hurt sales? That's what happens when you lose focus. This clear goal is your North Star. Every decision should tie back to making money now and later. Now, how do you actually make that happen? Enter the theory of constraints, or TEOC. Every system, whether it's a business, a kitchen, or your weekly schedule, has a weak spot, a bottleneck that slows everything down. Think of it like a clogged pipe. The whole flow depends on that one stuck point. The trick? Find the bottleneck and focus all your effort there. Improving anything else is like mopping the floor during a rainstorm. Pointless until you fix the leak. In a factory, it might be a slow machine. In your life, it could be a bad habit or a time suck. Zero in and you'll see results fast. To make this work, the book gives you a clear playbook called the 5 focusing steps. These are your steps to keep improving, no matter the system. Identify the constraint. Pinpoint what's holding you back. It could be a machine that's too slow, a process that's clunky, or even not enough customers buying. Look where things pile up or get delayed. That's your bottleneck. Exploit the constraint. Get the most out of it without spending extra. If it's a machine, make sure it's running full speed on the right tasks. If it's your time, cut distractions during your peak hours. Use what you've got smarter. Subordinate everything else. This is a big one. Everything else in the system, people, machines, schedules, needs to support the bottleneck. Don't let other parts overproduce or mess up the flow. Sometimes that means letting things sit idle to keep the system smooth. Elevate the constraint. If you've maxed out the bottleneck and it's still not enough, invest to make it better. Buy a faster machine, hire help, or streamline a process. But only do this after you've tried everything else. It's not the first move. Repeat and stay sharp. Once you fix one bottleneck, a new one shows up. Keep going back to step 1. And watch out. Old habits or rules can become the new problem if you don't stay flexible. These steps aren't a one-time fix. They're a cycle called the process of ongoing improvement. It's about always looking for the next weak spot and tackling it. To make smart decisions, you need the right way to measure success. The book introduces 3 key metrics that keep you focused on making money. Throughput. This is the money you make from sales. Not just making stuff, but selling it. If it's sitting in a warehouse, it's not helping you. Inventory. This is the money tied up in stuff you plan to sell. Raw materials, half-finished products, or unsold goods. Too much inventory is bad. It locks up cash and costs you to store. Operational expense. This is what you spend to turn inventory into sales, like wages, rent, or power. You want to keep this low, but not if it cuts into sales. Your mission? Crank up throughput while cutting inventory and operational expense. This is a huge shift from old-school thinking, where piling up inventory or keeping every machine busy looks good but actually hurts. If you produce stuff nobody buys, you're just burning cash. The book also flips how you think about efficiency. Here's a shocker. Running everything at 100% is a terrible idea. If you push non-bottleneck machines or people to max out, you end up with extra stuff that clogs the system, like a traffic jam. Only the bottleneck should run flat out. Everything else needs slack to support it, keeping the flow smooth. It's counterintuitive, but forcing every part to be busy creates chaos, more inventory, and wasted effort. Another big lesson is that local wins don't mean global success. Making one department super efficient, like buying a fancy new machine, doesn't help if it's not the bottleneck. You're just piling up stuff that can't move forward, wasting money and time. Instead, think of your system as a whole, every part working together to hit the goal. A cheap fix at the bottleneck beats a shiny upgrade somewhere else. Measurements are huge here. The book says what you measure drives how people act. If you reward workers for keeping machines busy, they'll churn out parts you don't need. If you push for low cost per item, you might skimp on quality and lose sales. Align your metrics with the goal: more throughput, less inventory, lower expenses. Anything else leads to bad decisions. The book also challenges traditional accounting. Old school methods might say inventory is an asset, or that cutting labor saves money. Wrong. The goal pushes throughput accounting, where you focus on sales minus raw materials, treat inventory as a liability, and see most costs as fixed expenses. This keeps your eyes on what actually makes money, not fake savings that hurt the big picture. These ideas stretch way beyond factories. The theory of constraints works for supply chains, hospitals, software teams, even your personal goals. In a supply chain, find the slowest link and speed it up. You could cut inventory by 15 to 25%, says McKinsey. In project management, it's called critical chain, focusing on the key tasks that set the pace. In life, it's spotting what's really holding you back, maybe procrastination or a toxic job, and fixing it. But it's not perfect. Some say the book simplifies things too much, especially for super complex systems with multiple bottlenecks. It might not handle wild swings in demand or uncertainty well without extra tools. And focusing only on the bottleneck could mean missing big picture needs, like innovation or team growth. Still, Goldratt's later work, like his thinking processes, tackles these issues, making the system more flexible than critics think. What makes the goal so powerful is its mindset. It's not about quick fixes, it's about thinking smarter. Ask tough questions, challenge old rules, and keep improving. You move from reacting to problems to shaping your system for success. Whether you're a business owner, a manager, or just trying to get your life together, this book gives you tools to see clearly and act wisely. Want to dig deeper? The link to the goal is in the description. Grab it, apply these ideas, and watch your results soar. Share this video with anyone stuck in a rut. It could be the spark they need. Thanks for watching. Now go find your bottleneck and crush it.